coaching, but this is your opportunity to get the answers for free. So let me know where you are from and what your questions are. Before I get into things, I want to say you could check out my link tree that is in my bio, and that will show you all the places that you can find me on this journey. I am on pretty much every platform, and I do a lot of different stuff, a lot of artist support. So whatever your platform is of choice, you could probably find me there. I do want to give a quick shout out to a couple of my sponsors. Nova Color Paint, my favorite acrylic paint for over 20 years. You can go to novacolorpaint.com and you can find the Michael Carini Artist Curated Bundle with some of my favorite colors that I carefully curated for you. I also want to give a shout out to Wonka Gallery, based here in San Diego. Wonka Gallery is my favorite source for framing my artwork here in San Diego. They're also great for art restoration and oddities. Some really cool art that's kind of out of this world, and they show some art from local artists. You walk in there, you never know what you're going to see, but this is your opportunity to ask anything and everything. I am here for you. And if I could go back and give my younger self advice, it would be to ask more questions from the people that have done the things that I want to do. So take advantage of this if you can. We don't have anybody on yet, but I'll give it another minute. I just tried to do one of these live feeds over on Instagram. And for whatever reason, I've been struggling with the live feeds on Instagram. With 35,000 followers on Instagram, I got up to one person on the live feed and then dropped to zero. So it is possible that I am just extremely boring and give terrible advice, but I would like to think that it is not me, or at least not completely me, and that there might be something else going on. But then again, we don't have anybody here on YouTube either. So maybe I just picked a really awful day to do a live feed, but I don't know. So while I give this another minute or two for people to tune in, I want to say that you could check out my art in a number of galleries across the country. Here in San Diego, I'm currently at Edelman Fine Art. I am at Sparks Gallery. I am at the Studio Door in Palm Springs. I am at Savage Art. In Chicago, I'm currently at the O Art Foundation, although that show is coming down. In Southwest Ranches, Fort Lauderdale, I am at OMSA. And in Troy, New York, I am at Two Selves Gallery. I am also at PXP Contemporary, a really cool online gallery that has sold a number of pieces for me in the past week or two. Even though I'm just starting that relationship, already had a couple sales before the show officially went up. You can see some of my new minis here that are available. I've been doing a lot more small works, trying to create work that's more accessible for people. I find that right now in the art world, one of the difficulties is that people just don't have income or enough income to make extravagant art purchases like they may have in past years. So with much more limited budgets, I'm finding that it's a smart approach to focus on making smaller work at a lower price point. So whereas I used to have work that was all close to $1,000 or above, I've shifted to trying to create some work that's within a couple $100 to $500 for originals. And I've already seen some movement for that. So for artists out there looking for just a quick little tip, I strongly recommend looking for options that are kind of within that range, $500 to $1,000. Perhaps even less, but I find that those are price points where people don't think too much about making a purchase. They might be able to make an impulse purchase or buy multiple pieces. And the other great thing about making small work is that it's easy to box, doesn't cost a lot of ship, and as an artist, your material costs are also going to be within reason. So even with having my canvases custom made, it's not super expensive for me to get these little canvases, whereas if I'm doing 4-foot by 5-foot pieces, the cost of the canvas is pretty extravagant. And then we have the volume of paint. And then we have, if we're going to ship it across the country, shipping costs are nuts right now with everything going on in the world. So as an artist, as a full-time career artist, this is all that I do. I'm having to adapt and try some different things. But as I've always said, I think that what artists are really good at is finding creative solutions. And I think that that's what artists really need to do right now, is to find creative solutions to build that sustainability and to get our feet under us. It's so easy to just say, oh, it's not possible. Oh, it's so hard. It is very difficult right now. I find I'm having a lot of struggles doing it. I find it more difficult to be a career artist right now than I did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But I'm committed to making this dream work and to showing you that it is possible. And so I am navigating the struggles and getting creative and perhaps bending in certain ways a little more than I would have in the past, but also refusing to break. And one little story I want to share with you right now while I wait for some questions to come in is I was talking to an artist a week or two ago about getting a job and whether or not it was a good idea. And in this case, we were talking about getting a job here in San Diego. And the job in question was for $17 an hour. And I pass no judgment on anyone doing whatever they need to do on this journey of life. We're all on our own journeys, and you got to do what's best for you. We all have different circumstances. But we were talking about it, and they said, well, do you think it would be good to get this job for $17 an hour, whether it be part-time or full-time? And I said, well, this is what you have to think about, is if you get a job paying $17 an hour for that contracted period, what you will earn is $17 an hour. Now, as an artist, as somebody that runs their own business, there is never a guarantee. You may have days, weeks, months where you don't make a single dollar. It's tough. It's a big challenge, and it's scary because you don't have stable income. You don't have consistent income. But on any given day, I said you could wake up and you could sell something for $1,000, $3,000, $5,000. And just this past week, I closed a deal for 6 paintings with the past collector, and I earned more money with that one job, that one transaction, than I would have working months at that job, making $17 an hour. So what I like to tell people is that there is always going to be hard in life. Whether you choose the easy road or the hard road, there is going to be hard. Even on the easy road, there is hard. So if it's going to be hard no matter what, you're going to have to choose your hard. And I will always choose the hard on the road of my dream. I will always choose my dream. And I am committed to that to the end. I was debating whether or not I did want to take up some part-time work recently, and I actually am open to the possibility of doing a little bit more teaching, but I'm very specific about my time that is available for that so that it doesn't infringe and impede on my studio work and on my bigger dream, on my goals, because it is very easy to get sucked into a time suck, a job that prevents you from having the time not only to make your work, but to look for the opportunities that will help you to grow on the path of your dream. And that is why I have ultimately refused to take anything that would require me to offer a substantial amount of hours. But again, I pass no judgment if you choose to hold another job and to do the art thing on the side. I actually did that for a long time, and there were some benefits for that. I did like that I had a continuous revenue stream. I was able to actually do more art fairs and festivals because I had more expendable income. Now, it was also a different time. If I had held on to that job, would I still have that expendable income to do these things today in 2025? I don't know, but I'm kind of glad that I don't know. But there were some benefits for sure when I did hold that other job. But for me personally, I felt like it was sucking my soul out of me. I felt like I was at a point that I was ready to give up on life. And that's why I ultimately decided that I had to get rid of that. I had to move onto the path where I could protect my physical, mental, emotional health, where I could focus on becoming the best version of myself, something where I could 100% commit to my dream. Because I'm somebody that is just an all-in person. And I decided that I would like to be all in on my dream. It was too hard to kind of be half in. Now, I don't have a family the way that many people do. I don't have kids or anything like that. So, like I said, different set of circumstances for me than it probably is for you or may be for you. But we all have to choose our heart in life. And I am committed to showing people that this dream is possible, even though it is getting more challenging. So I am happy to celebrate the victory that I had this week, selling 6 paintings. And then I sold 2 paintings through PXP Contemporary earlier this week before the show even went up. So I feel like things are moving in a positive direction. I feel like I'm focused on getting back to creating an emotional connection with buyers, collectors, my audience. And it's not that I gave up on that before. I think that I just got a little lost in the mix of the pressure of things, everything going on in life, including my traumatic brain injury. So I feel like even though I'm still navigating some of the struggles of the traumatic brain injury, I'm at a point that I'm able to make things work for me. And I've always said that whatever life gives me, I'm going to find a way to work with that. And so that's what I'm doing, is working with what I have and working to build that sustainability and working to show you that it is possible and trying to find better ways to connect with you, both for my work in terms of collectors, but also just creating a dialogue and creating community. And I think that that's one of the things that could really help you with your art, is not so much looking at your art as a product, but as a bridge to connect people. And in doing so, what happens is it actually will help to sell the work more. So I find that when I focus less on money and on, oh, I got to sell this, that's when the work sells. But when I focus too much on, oh, this is all about sales, I need to increase sales, the sales don't come. So I feel like if you are true to yourself, that the universe will reward you. But you do got to put in the work. You do got to make the sacrifices. It does require dedication. And I think that we are going through what another artist referred to as a course correction. I think that's kind of a good way to describe it. And I think, sadly, during this course correction, that a lot of artists are going to fall off or they're going to give up because it's going to be challenging at a level that they're not willing to work through. And although I'm saddened by that because I don't want to see anybody give up, I do want to see everybody succeed and everybody live their dreams. I think that people are going to drop off. And what that will lead to is it will create an opening for those that are willing to persist and to work through these struggles. So I am somebody that's going to work through. And so I feel like doors will open, but you got to go through that dark night to see that sunrise. And there are going to be some gray days, and there have been a lot of gray days lately. But I still hold on to hope because some days that's all there is. And I have to believe that there is something else. And if I keep fighting for this dream, there's always the possibility that things can work out. And I want to show you that. So I'd love for you to check out my work, check out my Linktree, check out my portals to a better place. I got these new options ranging from $275 up, and there are installments. I can ship worldwide. I do offer coaching sessions. I do a lot of artist support, but the live feeds are your chance to ask me anything and everything. So I would love for you to join me in the future. And if I can start getting more people here on YouTube, then I will start doing more of these for you to try to help you. But it'd be great if we can really get a conversation going and get some questions answered in the future. But today is not that day. And as I said, sometimes you just got to work with whatever life gives you. So have a great day. Stay safe. Be well. Go make that art and share the love.